Hello Sunshines, how are you? Well, I'm here with my planner and I'm going to walk you through it. It's a DIY, something I've put together, and I wanted to walk you through it just to let you know that you can do your own planner, homemade, economical, and it is definitely just as good as any other that you could buy at the store. Now, a long time ago, I used to have what's called a day timer, day runner, whatever you want to call these. And actually, this is one of my very old ones, and I still have some things in here, actually. And I've kept these all through high school. But for some time, I started using my phone. As you guys can see here, my phone. I used Google Calendar for quite some time. And so that became one of my favorite things there, using my calendar on my phone. However, I still kept my to-do list because, as you can probably agree, some of the things in your calendar are great to have as far as, you know, when you're planning something, but what happens when you have to actually do something? It's not a to-do list. So yes, you have an electric bill due on the 21st or whatever day it may be, but when are you going to pay it? Are you going to pay it the day of, the day before, a week before? So those are things you actually put in your to-do list. So because I've always had to-do lists, I have these little books that I have bought at either the dollar store or in the Michael's or Joann's dollar bins. I love them because you could just put them in your purse and they're very small, but they have lots of room to write. So I've always done little lists and things, and I've written notes in there, and so I've always kept these in addition to my phone for scheduling and my keeping myself on track with things that I need to do throughout the day, the week, the month, etc. But you know, my phone failed me one day because the battery ran out, so I decided, you know what, I need to go back to paper planning. So I ended up getting an address book, and this is what I had for quite some time, and that worked great because I would have a to-do list in here. I had a monthly calendar, and I didn't so much schedule it on there, but it was like my backup and my catch-all for things that I needed to carry around with me at all times. But then it became small because I started adding more and more to it. As you can see, it's very thin, and I love that it's very comfortable to hold, but then, you know, I outgrew it. So I ended up buying this. It's a binder that you could get at your, you know, school supplies section, and I just added some of my favorite patterns here. I added some washi tape, which actually comes in very handy when you're planning or attaching things in your planner. You can just pull it right off the front, and it serves two purposes. It looks nice and it's useful. So I slipped this in, if I can get it out. It's just some paper that I had, and I taped two pieces together. Went ahead and put it in the front. I printed out one of my favorite scriptures, as well as my logo, something I created in school a few years ago that I really like because it represents me. I try to smile and laugh all the time, and so I use that now as my personal logo. So I put that on there, and like I said, along with the washi tape, just as a simple decoration. Now we're going to open up to the inside. On the inside pocket, I went ahead and just kind of decorated a little bit so it wouldn't look so boring. I love color, as you can see. My nails too. And on this side, I put things that I really need to get done, that it really don't apply to anything else. It's just stuff that I have to get done at some point or another. Nothing really is an emergency, but just stuff that I need to have access to right away. And I just put some pretty paper in there to keep it a little bit private and decorative too. And if I need this washi tape, I can always, you know, peel it off and use it throughout my planner as needed. One of the things that I really like, what was a recent addition, is this polyvinyl pocket envelope that I got at Office Depot, and it was only 50 cents because it was on clearance. So I went ahead and picked up a few. This wasn't hole punched, but I went ahead and hole punched it so that I could put it in my planner and carry it around with me. When it sits at my desk, I go ahead and I just, I have it in there. It's easy access. I have coupons in there is what I'm keeping this for right now. So things I can access right away. Now when I don't have this with me, when I don't take my planner with me, and I leave it at my desk, I can easily just open up these tabs, take this out, and put this in my purse, and I still have my coupons with me. So this is very handy. On the back, attached to it, is a little pocket, which is so very useful, and I've labeled it receipts because when I'm carrying around the envelope by itself in my purse, I can remember to put the receipts in here and they stay neat, and then that way when I get them home, I can log them in, do what I need to do, file them away, and everything's in its place and nothing gets lost. I don't like losing receipts. So that's that. And as you can see, it fits perfectly in the front here. So 50-cent investment. It was one of the best investments I've made. Anyway, in that old planner that I used to have, that was the address book. This used to be my cover. And I love the way it came out. It has some of my favorite quotes and scriptures. So I went ahead and kept it here. So now we come to the first tab. And as you can see, I've labeled it with a label maker. And that was very simple to do. These tabs I actually got, I don't know if you can see how they're very plastic vinyl, poly or something, I think it's a material, but they're very durable. And I got a set of 5 at Target for under $3. I got 2 sets because I knew I had lots of sections I wanted to have in my planner, so I went ahead and put that in there. Now the good thing is, because it's so durable, you don't have to put washi tape, unless of course you want to. You don't have to reinforce the holes because this plastic is not going to tear. So that was very helpful. Here I just like to keep some little mementos. Now my monthly calendar I created using scrapbook paper, and I just had some scraps. I went ahead and cut them into little squares, and I measured it out based on an old calendar that I had so that I can get the right spacing. And I just, like I said, I cut them to shape using a paper cutter. So it was very simple. Here I just have the previous months that I made, and they're just basically the same thing. Some of them are filled in a little bit with some information, but I don't use it so much for planning anymore. I just use it as an overview to see when days fall and things like that. What I do use often is my weekly tab. I go to this every single day just about. In the weekly section, when I started doing my weekly planning, I started off looking through YouTube at some of the ideas that they offered. As you know, you can go to YouTube and find lots of ideas, so I do recommend that you do that if you're trying to find a system that works for you. But this is what's called the Spiralex system, and I tried it, as you can see, for a few days, but because I do so many different things throughout the day, it didn't work for me. I think it works better as a time management tool because you can color code things and pencil in whatever it is that you're doing. But like I said, I like more of a to-do list, and like as you can see here, I added my own little to-do list here, but that didn't work out either. I needed it combined. So this is a great system, but unless you're doing time management or you have activities that run long periods of time, then that's probably a good system for you to use. I really like grid paper, so I use that a lot when making a to-do list because I have such big handwriting. Sometimes I go off to the side or go, down and up, and it just never stays straight. Having a grid, you can also write and stay on a line. So as you can see, this is just for the purpose of showing you the boxes. Basically, I just cut a sheet of paper in half, punched holes in it, and then just decorated it myself. But that was kind of busy, so after a while I decided, you know what, let me go ahead and do plain paper. But again, it looked a little too busy and it didn't really serve the purpose that I really needed it to serve. So I went ahead and started, you know what, let me design my own. And I came up with this, which I really like. I pretty much do the same thing every week when it comes to cleaning. So I went ahead and made a list, like a checklist, on graph paper on the left for the week of things that I want to accomplish during the week and some of the dates. Now some of these things I delegate to my kids, some of them I do myself, some of them I just completely skip and I decide just to cross them out. But then also on a daily basis I like to do certain things, and I like to have a checklist just to keep myself accountable, and so I keep those on the daily side. So basically what you see is on the left you have a grid sheet where you can add more lists. You can doodle if you're on the phone and you need to write notes, or if you want to add more lists, you have that here on this side. Then on the right side, if you want to keep your schedule, you can add dates, you can add appointments, or you can decorate this side if you want to. Now to decorate the months, what I've done, and this is a little project that I'll be doing here pretty soon, but what you do, because again we want to stay economical but still look good, you go ahead and you get some of these paint samples from Walmart or Target or Home Depot, wherever it is that you stop, and pick out your favorite colors. As you can see, these three, I have fresh pineapple, watermelon smoothie, and spearmint gum. I think I was hungry that day, so I picked these colors. I don't know, but anyway, I wanted to decorate these to put them as my month holder. And what I plan to do, for example, let me see if I can set this up. I want to do something like this, and with the holes already punched, I'll add that on there maybe somewhere. What I plan to do here is print out a list of holidays and birthdays and events that I know are happening for the month, print it out on my printer and cut it out and glue it on here so that I have a monthly list of things that are happening. And then as the weeks progress, I'm gonna see how this works, but as the weeks progress I can always move this to each of the different pages and always have that list in front of me. So I think that worked really well. I don't know, I'm gonna give it a try and see how it goes, but I do plan on putting together these as maybe little kits, and I don't know, maybe make them available on Etsy or something for you guys to enjoy them as well. So then the next tab is my home tab, and this is where I just keep general home related items. I have some paint swatches, I have some measurements of a project that I want to do. Now my next section is the family section. This is a picture of my family that I like to keep. I have a schedule of the remainder of the school year and just some general paperwork there in a pocket. Again, this pocket is something that I picked up at Target as well. They come in a package of 5 for, again, under $3 or $4. So these are very colorful, very useful, and because of the plastic, they're durable and they won't rip out of your planner. And because they're pockets as well, you can actually take them out if you need to take it somewhere, either to school or work, and just work on the items that are inside the pocket. So it's very handy. The next section is my info section, and that's just what it is, just general info. I have a book list, I have some measurements of some things, I have some sites that I want to visit, I have my wish list, I have some hashtag lists of things that I like to look up on Instagram, just general information, some reservations there, and then of course lots of extra paper. And then back here, just general information that I want to hold on to. This here is my section for my faith. I think it's important to have a section for either your spirituality, for your faith, whatever it is that you do to center yourself. I have a picture, an old picture of my husband and I when we were a lot younger. I think as parents we need a lot of prayer, so I keep that picture there to remind us that we need to pray for our kids and things like that. This next section is the financial section. I keep some stamps there. This here I made, but because it has personal information I went ahead and covered it, but I wanted to show you here. This is a list of bills that need to be paid. Just printed it out on my printer of the due date, the payee, the amount, and what method I use to pay, whether it's online payment, whether I go to the actual establishment to pay, or I do it online. Whatever it is that I use, I go ahead and I list it. And the nice part is right here, as you can see, I use a little logo. So basically this is done in Microsoft Word. I go ahead and I just search the logo, I pull the picture into the document, and then I just use it so that I get a visual of what's coming up. And then if I need to keep anything in the back, I created a little pocket here where you can just slip in whatever it is that you need. And I just keep a rewards list so I know how many points I earn when I use my card. I have some Groupon printouts in there. Business related items, anything that's business related, I keep business cards in here. I keep extra paper for when I'm taking notes at a meeting. I use that. And then I have my creative type of sections. And this here, as you can see, just little quotes, some ideas that I have of things that I need to put together, some writing I've done, some notes I've taken when I watched a video, more ideas, things like that. And in the back I have what's also found at Target, and I plan to use this eventually. I want to sew through and create sections, kind of like a baseball card holder, and put little things in there so that I can use for my planner. And then here are more supplies. Again, I picked these up, and you can use these just about for anything. And they're just nice colors, make your planner a little more colorful. I took a bunch of sheets, grid paper, as you can see. I cut it up into 4s, punched holes in it, and I use these sometimes as shopping lists, and I slip them in the binder for easy access. So that's basically it. That's my planner. And I hope that you are encouraged to create your own. As you can see, I use supplies that you can find anywhere at Walmart, Target, Michael's. You don't have to go spend crazy. Just lots of little things that you can create yourself. For example, this little paper clip that's a placeholder. You just feed ribbon through it, add some glue in the back, and then you have your placeholder. And as you can see, I have one here, and this way when you're looking for something or you want to go straight to a spot, you just open it up and it takes you right to where you need to go. So there you have it. Again, I hope you're encouraged, and leave me comments if you'd like. Let me know what you think of it, what you don't like, and if you have any other ideas that you'd like to share, please feel free to comment below. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.